YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Whitney Holcomb. I am a writer and author of the book 1 Year, 100 Pounds. For those of you who are new here, I lost 100 pounds on my own when I was 14. I then became a model, was featured in 17 magazine, on the Oprah Winfrey Show of all things, and then I wrote a book about it. So my channel now is talking about my weight loss experience, as well as giving you some of my own weight loss tips and motivational advice, and also about personal development, because I really believe in striving to be the best person that you can be. But today's topic is a little bit different. I have talked about my experience being bullied in the past for being fat. And although I am in the camp that I am not on the fat activist side of health at every size, I do not believe that. So if that is you right now, this is not your channel. I do believe that people should strive to be the best they can be, to be the healthiest they can be. I don't think that being overweight or obese is something to aspire to. And I think that you should want to change it. That being said, it's your life. I'm not here to convince anyone of anything. I don't personally care what you do. I am only here to give guidance and support to people who are like me and who are not happy being overweight or obese and want to change their life. That being said, I also know what discrimination feels like because I faced it at a very young age. I was overweight, obese my entire childhood, and I experienced firsthand what it's like to be hated for who you are, for my weight. I was bullied maliciously and harassed by not only just kids and classmates, but adults. And I have many stories of being harassed by adults, which I will probably share at some point. So as you can see, I feel really strongly about this because now as an adult, looking back at my experience, I could never imagine being an adult and harassing another child for being fat, for anything really. I could never imagine being a child myself and making fun of another kid, which I never did. I just wasn't raised that way. That being said, I think it's much different coming from an adult than it is from other kids. I understand, look, there's all kinds of reasons for bullying, especially when you're a kid. But the main point I'm going to talk about today is if there is anything that I agree with the fat positive community or the fat activist group, is that there is discrimination against fat people. You really are treated differently. And there is just a lot of unwarranted hatred towards fat people just for existing, just for being fat. So regardless of the question of, yes, they can change it if they want to. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not here to talk about why they're fat. Just the fact that fat people exist. It is what it is, right? I'm not saying you have to necessarily like fat people. You don't have to be their friends. You don't have to date them. That's fine. But you also don't get to discriminate against them. You don't get to harass them. That's just being a bad person. And I am talking about this subject today because I recently posted something on my TikTok, and it was just me talking about growing up fat. And I was talking about how as a kid and teen, looking for plus size clothing, how there wasn't a lot of representation, talking a little bit about being discriminated. And someone commented something really ignorant, like, well, I have to read the exact comment, but I mean, basically the gist of what they were saying, there was a series of comments because I went back and forth for a little bit. He, she, I don't know, because it was, of course, it's always like the faceless accounts, right? With like a no-name account that, has the strongest opinion. But basically saying like, oh no, they should be discriminated against because it's bad. And, we shouldn't be making excuses for them. And, 5 other billion people on this planet can be skinny. Why can't they? Right? So it was a whole ordeal. But it got me thinking about the topic that this is not something new, right? That people have said. A lot of people will sit there and say, probably people who were bullies themselves or never been bullied, that, bullying builds character and bullying makes you a stronger person. Maybe it is something that we should all go through. And I feel like I am a good person to talk about this because I experienced bullying and I also lost weight and changed my life in spite of it. And I have talked about before how in some ways, yeah, the bullying did motivate me to lose the weight because I didn't want to be treated as less than anymore. I did not want to be, the fat girl anymore. I wanted to fit in. Did it make me a stronger person overall? Yeah, it did. But you know what it also did? It broke me down first before it helped me build me up. And if I hadn't been the kind of strong person that I am, had I not had a good family, I don't really know where I would be, honestly, because, and I've said this before, bullying is a form of verbal abuse. Sometimes it can be physical. I was fortunate that I was never physically abused by my bullies, but it is verbal abuse. And as we've seen, time and time again, these cases of these kids, some as young as like 9 years old, are ending their life because of bullying. So clearly, it doesn't make everyone a stronger person. Clearly, everyone's different. And clearly, it's a lot more harmful than some of these assholes online are saying. And in my case, I had been bullied from a very, very young age, and it made me feel worthless. I did not know what it felt, really, to be treated like a normal person. I didn't see myself as a normal person or as a worthy person. I went through my entire childhood feeling that way, at least from people outside of my family. That's really the truth. Like there were very few encounters that I had where someone did not make me feel less than or different or just straight up were cruel to me. And then again, in my case, when I hit 6th grade, 5th and 6th grade were probably like the worst years for me. That I literally had no friends. I was depressed without really knowing I was depressed at that age because I was so young. I was. Life just felt meaningless, let alone did I have the inspiration to do anything positive for myself. And again, I was so young. I didn't know about weight loss or how to do it. I thought that this was just my lot in life. People just hated me for what I was. I didn't know I could change. So there's that aspect, but would I have even changed even if I knew how to? Again, there wasn't a lot of positive reinforcement coming from anyone in my life at that point. Except for my family. My family is a different story. And I've said this before in another video. When it was 7th and 8th grade, I moved to a different school, and I met a core group of people, a core group of friends who I'm still very close with today, who really were the first people to befriend me, the first people to treat me like a human being, and the first people to make me feel worthy and important. And my life completely changed after that. My personality completely changed after that. You have no idea what it's like to go from feeling worthless and like nobody to all of a sudden having people care for you and like you and want to be around you. It was such a new experience for me, right? Like I never felt that way before. It was around this time, the end of 8th grade year, where I decided to make the decision to lose weight and change my life. And I don't think that it is a coincidence that it was around this time that I finally had the courage and the inspiration to do something for myself. And yeah, part of it was, okay, I want to get back at all my bullies, blah, blah, blah. But reality though, that the motivation, I think, and the inspiration more so came from the positive influences, from the love and care I received from my friends, more so than any harsh comment any other bully had said to me before. Because let's be real here. We know that bullies do not bully other kids or other people because they're trying to make them a better person. No, bullies love to punch down. They don't want you to change, okay? My bullies would never have wanted me to lose weight. That's not why they were being mean. They were being mean to me because they saw me as someone who was below them. And they see themselves, whether they admit it or not, they see themselves as worthless. So in their mind, I'm gonna punch down to this person who is below me, and that will make me feel better. And that's really the thing. Bullies are pathetic, miserable people. And that is why they do it. They are not bullying you because they're trying to make you a better person. They're not bullying you because you are worthless. They want you to feel worthless because that makes them feel better. So the last thing that my bullies would have wanted to see me do is lose weight, be happy, and be successful. But you know what? Fuck them. I did it anyway. I did it in spite of them. I did not do it because I wanted to lose weight and then have them be my friends. No, I wanted nothing to do with them. I lost weight because I wanted to be successful and I wanted to throw it in their face, and I did. So if you are someone right now who is experiencing bullying, remember that success is the best revenge. And I will even go more so to say that happiness is the best revenge. Your bullies don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to be successful. Because if you are, that means they feel less than. That means they don't feel as worthy. And they are going to fight so hard to keep you down. Your mission is to combat that. Your retaliation is to be successful. Your retaliation is to say fuck you and do what you want to do anyway. Be as successful as you can be, whether that means losing weight or whatever else. You know, you might be watching this and you don't have a weight problem, but maybe it means, you know, being the best student you can. Maybe it means getting the best job you can, making more money, making more friends, whatever it is. Be the best you can be. Work on yourself, because they will hate that. That is the last thing they want. But you know what? The more successful you are, the better you get, the smaller and smaller they become. Until one day you're gonna look at them and you're gonna be like, oh my God, this pathetic human being, this lowlife, this fugly looking dimwit, this was the one who was bullying me? Because that's what it is. They don't want you to realize your full potential. So back to the main topic of this video. Does bullying actually help you become a stronger, better person? Does bullying fat people, discriminating against them, will that encourage them to change their life? No, it won't. You're just an asshole. You're just an asshole. If you believe that discriminating against anyone, whether it be for their weight, for their race, for whatever the fuck else, you're just a bad person. Admit it, you're a bully. You're a bad person. But you know what? There is hope for you. You can change. I do believe in change. And if you want to change and become a better person, let me know in the comments. I can help you. Anyway, YouTube, that's all I have for you today. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree with me? Have you been bullied before? What is your story? How did you get back at them? Do you want to get back at them? Is it worth it? I would love to know. So yeah, if you like this video, subscribe, leave me a comment, like, do all that fun stuff. I'm just getting started on YouTube, so I would really appreciate the love, and I will see you next time.